Raise your hand if you are a fan of Friends, the popular sitcom. Here you are. Well, if you are, no doubt you would remember the iconic line Rose used to repeat every time Rachel came after him for that one night when he cheated on her. We were on a break! I had the same reaction every time someone asked me about Nikki. Over the last 5 years, I would say we are on a break. That's it. We're done. Contest chair, honorable judges, fellow Toastmasters, and friends. A few months ago, I went to my closet and I started digging, looking for skeletons. I wasn't surprised to find many, but I only picked one. It's the story of my long, intoxicating relationship with Nikki. A relationship that lasted for over 2 decades, and I never thought I would be able to get out of it. You see, it all started back in the early 90s. I was 17, visiting my aunt in Spain. And like any 17-year-old traveling alone to Europe, I was on a clear path to screw up my life. Though I thought to call it my character development bootcamp. My mentor at the time was my slightly older cousin. And one evening, when it was almost midnight, he took me deep into the woods. And this is when he first introduced me to Nikki. I was young. I wanted to be adventurous. Nikki, on the other hand, was so calm, mature, seductive. For my inexperienced heart, I thought that this is what they call love at first sight. And from the first time we kissed, Nikki took my breath away. Literally. Yet, we started hanging out, maybe once a week. We were on and off for almost a decade, just like Rose and Rachel. But when the millennium kicked in, Nikki completely consumed my life. To make this game even harder to play, I got married. And as you can imagine, my wife, she wasn't a big fan of Nikki. Yet, I managed to convince her that we were just friends. In reality, Nikki and I were killing it. We were having fun, making out all the time. At one point, we probably did it over 40 times a day. Wait a second, no. Get your mind out of the gutter. I mean, come on, I'm not a rabbit. And Nikki is just a metaphor for nicotine. Oh yes, I used to smoke. And I peaked at about 2 packs a day. I probably smelled like crap. And God only knows how expensive my laundry bill was. Yet, the good news is, 5 years ago, I found my way out of the woods and finally broke up with Nikki. Now, I am on a mission to share the story of how I did it, as I believe anyone can benefit from breaking a bad habit, following a simple process. Step number 1, make it invisible. So I blocked Nikki on Facebook and Instagram. I banned all our photos and birthday cards. You need nothing that reminds you of your bad habit. Step number 2, make it unattractive. And you need to work your imagination here. All of a sudden, Nikki started to look like those scary photos you find on cigarette packs. Associate your bad habit with the ugliest thing you can imagine. And the last step is to make it difficult. Easy access will never work to your advantage. So every time I hear that Nikki was invited to a night out, I don't go. My friends will call and ask, "Hey, why aren't you coming?" And I will respond, "Well, Nikki will be there." And they will ask, "Who is Nikki?" You know what? I don't have time to explain the metaphor, so I simply hang up. The bottom line is, I know how tricky Nikki is, and I cannot risk falling into her traps. To break up your bad habit, you should avoid being tested. Now, the outcome of this simple yet effective process was nothing short but miraculous. Not only did I break free from Nikkie's shackles, my health dramatically improved. I can breathe. My energy skyrocketed, and I simply feel great again. I was even able to run a marathon, which was unbelievable. A few months ago, I completed my first marathon, and that's a whopping 42-kilometer run. Something I could never imagine being able to do while I was still hanging out with Nikkie. Now, I'm setting my goals literally higher as I'm planning to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest summit in Africa. And this is coming from a guy who struggled to climb a single flight of steps. So quitting smoking did not only improve my health, it expanded the horizon of what I believe was even possible. If any of you is currently hanging out with your own Nikkie, or maybe one of her brothers, sisters, say Jack, Mary, or Jane, remember, breaking up might be the best thing you could ever do. I broke up with Nikkie. Who are you breaking up with? Just do it. And who knows, I might see you at Kilimanjaro. God bless you.